Hey there, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. Hope you guys are doing fine. Um, this morning, the futures are looking a little weak. Let's go to the futures. Let me just make sure my screen is properly set up. Yeah, everything is looking good out here. Okay, so S&P 500 futures are down 0.24%. NASDAQ futures are down 0.30%. I think overall, the AI scare from yesterday definitely pushed the indices down. And this morning, they're pointing to a cautious open. Remember, today's Friday, the 13th. And as investors await the January Consumer Price Index report, following Thursday's sharp sell-off, driven by mounting concerns over AI intelligence disruption, I think S&P futures are naturally bound to be down. They are down a little bit, as you can see. And the technology sector seems to have borne the brunt of yesterday's selling pressure, with Cisco Systems cratering almost 12.3%. Let us just quickly have a look at Cisco Systems. We have Cisco here. And I'll shift from the 2 minutes to the 1 day time frame so that you can see clearly how bad the damage was. It was a huge drop. And if you were to take a measuring widget and measure from where we started the day to where we ended the day, it was almost a 14.06% drop. So things were not that great. And the networking hardware sector guidance from Cisco sent shockwaves throughout the sector as investors worried about AI's impact on traditional tech companies. Apple experienced an even steeper 19.7% plunge as concerns mounted that AI could undercut its mobile technology business despite posting strong quarterly profits. 7 stocks dropping 5% in the worst session since, I would say, since quite a while. I think even if you go back a few months, this has been some of the worst performance. And Apple led the declines to a good extent. Let us see where Apple is in this list out here. Here you are. Apple led the declines. It was the biggest decliner. And then we had Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, all of them dropping. Amazon dropped 2.2%, Meta dropped 2.8%. And if we were to look at Broadcom, where is Broadcom? AVGO. It was down 3.38%. So there were huge drops, but Rivian jumped 13% on robust vehicle delivery guidance. Again, another wake-up call for Tesla. Tesla seems to be a little bit negative this morning, but I was looking forward to the head and shoulder pattern playing out, which did not happen. We have gone back and broken the bear flag that was forming. So it's very interesting what Tesla is doing. It's going against the grain. I also read an article which said Tesla is no longer a car company. They are doing a lot of voodoo stuff, like mixing up with AI, XAI and SpaceX and whatnot. Tesla is giving money into all those areas, and those areas are privately held. And I think once they go public, then it will be other entities. So anyway, let us not worry too much about Tesla. They will take care of themselves. Market volatility has returned with force as VIX has climbed significantly. Let us go to have a look at VIX. And you would see VIX is about 20%. It's at 21.2. It's up 1.97% today. And the dollar index is becoming a bit stronger, which is a positive among all the bad news. But friends, I'm thinking that, given overall weakness and the fact that we already have a target of 95.49, I'm thinking that if this was the bear flag, I think we are doing another bear flag out here, and we're likely to break down on the downside and reach our target of 95.549, which is not a good thing for the US economy as well as the inflation prospects and other things. Now let's look at gold, which is trying to edge back into this very strong resistance point of 4,995.754. Will it be able to do that? Well, I don't know. It has already dropped below our diagonal line of support, which has now become a resistance. And I think today it's a very challenging task for gold. And if gold manages to break out from that, I think that will be a very strong signal that the market is a bit jittery and they are going into safe haven assets like gold, especially physical gold where there is no counterparty risk. So the positive that I see today of 0.91% on gold seems to give a bit of encouragement in that direction. US 10-year yields are starting to creep back up again. They are up 0.05% this morning. And if the yields go up, that's going to be a problem for the US. We have a target of 4.415 based on the reverse head and shoulders. And we were moving towards it until we had this recent drop due to the economic data, which means that the market is expecting a rate cut. But we should not forget the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the 38 trillion debt, which is increasing, and the interest payment burden, which is becoming bigger and bigger, as big as their defense budget. So it's not a sustainable trajectory. And most importantly, nothing that the government is doing right now works towards reducing that deficit. And even if they give short-term treasury bills and use the proceeds to buy back longer-term bonds, then the problem will be that there will be too many short-term bonds that can be taken by the market. Especially foreign buyers are not going to be getting into it. As we can see, US treasuries have dropped second place to gold in central bank reserves. So if that is the condition, then the short-term treasury bills will also end up having too much in circulation and too few uptake, which would mean that the Federal Reserve will be forced to buy those bonds and print money and release it into the market, which again pushes up inflation, reduces the value of the dollar, and foreign investors who have invested in the dollar will find that the interest rate needs to go up further for it to be worthwhile for them to keep their money parked in dollars, because when converted to their domestic currency, it would not be high enough. So these are all the things that we should not lose sight of, in my opinion. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Hey, good morning, Uddhav. I'm cautiously optimistic that the midterm elections will probably give some kind of a stability and a renewed focus towards where we need to go. Right now, a lot of government efforts are being wasted on things which are not really good for the economy as such. Nothing is being done for the economy. We have this problem of super unemployment due to AI displacing workers. So where is the demand going to come? The per capita income of US right now, above 65,000 or something, with a small population of 450 million, is making it the biggest economy and the biggest country in the world. So I would expect that their focus would be on guarding the per capita income and focusing on how to sustain employment and how to retain the middle class if AI is creating a lot of white-collar unemployment. But I don't see any efforts happening in that direction. So I'm not at all optimistic, and that's my bearish case. I'm moving my US dollars back into the Canadian side as and when I get opportunities, and I'm going into US companies through hedged Canadian depository receipts. We have all the US companies, almost all the US companies here. I'll show you my list here. These are all the companies which are listed in the Canadian Stock Exchange as depository receipts, and most of them are hedged to currency fluctuations. So I'm investing through them. So I still have exposure to US, but without risk of losing the value. And that's why I'm moving money from the US side into the Canadian side. I'm still investing in US companies which are top of the class, but their operating environment is quickly getting degraded. And I'm thinking that many of them will start focusing on non-US markets and retain their leadership and probably change their domicile if things become too bad. So that's the thesis on which I'm operating. And with that said, let's go and have a look at our AI stocks. We have NVDA, which is down 0.36% in pre-market trades, and we have a support line out here at 187.67. Right now, we are at 186.17. So I'm thinking that we have two new resistances arising from yesterday's price action, which were earlier supports. I've colored them red. So our initial resistance is going to be 186.58. Support is coming from the 100-day exponential at 185.06. And then you look at NVDA, Google. Google is down 0.57%. I have half a mind to short Google. I'm watching an ETF called GGLS, which is a 1x short. But I don't have the confidence to go in because I'll tell you why. We have this gap up out here, which shows that, of course, it has been taken care of here, but we have some kind of support at 309.80, which is the top end of the gap, and we have a support which is at 300.20. So typically, the top support holds, failing which the bottom support holds. So I'm afraid that maybe we don't come all the way down. This is a long way down. So I'm not absolutely confident, but if I had the guts and if I got in and the stock came all the way down here, that would be a handsome profit to make. The other reason why I'm a bit circumspect about that is because market sentiment is totally bearish, MACD is totally bearish, and momentum is dropped and it is coming very close to the 30%. In the past, I think Google has very rarely gone below 30%. So I think that there could be a bounce that could happen like it happened on 10th of October, like it happened on 17th of October. We could have a bounce. We also had a bounce on 20th of June at around 42.61. So a bounce can happen anytime, which will kind of be a negative. So I'm not getting into it, but that's an idea I'm toying with. Meta is down 0.98% in pre-market trade. Our earlier support, which was at 651.45, has now become a resistance for us. And right now we're at 643.29, which is somewhere below this. And our next support is going to be 636.05. Microsoft is down 0.15% and it's coming close to 399.10. But friends, I am thinking that it's going to go down further. Why? Because we have this bear flag out here. And this was the flag. This is the flag pull. This was the flag. There was a huge gap down. So if the flag broke out somewhere out here, then our target should be 338.32 or at the very least 339. We are going down. That's for sure. That's my verdict on Microsoft. I could go for MSFT to play this. That's something I'm considering, but I'll go in for that only after we breach 399.10 and confirm the breach. Then we have Amazon, which is down 1.08%. It's continuing to go down. A bear flag, it's going down further. If you want to draw some targets, this is a bearish flagpole, and if we assume two candles to be the spot of the breakout, then 171 is the target. AMD is up 0.26% in pre-market trade, support at 203.95, resistance at 212.88, which is the 100-day exponential moving average. And then you have Apple, which is down 0.55% in pre-market trades. Resistance is going to be at 262.56. That's our resistance. And support is supposed to be at 260.04, which is the 100-day exponential. Right now, we're at 260.29, just slightly above it. And then we have Tesla, which is down 0.94% in pre-market trades. Very strong support at 408.53. It will not go below that. It's most likely to bounce from that. But fundamentally, I don't believe in Tesla. Oracle is down 0.49% in pre-market trades. The middle of this parallel channel at 146.81 should prove to be a good support. Then we have SMCI, which is down 0.66%. It will definitely get support out here at 30.09. Right now, we're at 30.23. And if we fall down from that, then the next support is 28.95. Then I would like to go and have a look at MP. I sold MP and took profits, but overall my MP position is a little negative. So I want to end the year with each position showing profits. So I want to do one more trade on MP to put it into profit. And I'm looking at the opportunity to buy it very close to 54.87, which is a very strong support because the 200-day exponential and this diagonal line of support, which comes to us all the way from 9th of July. They coincide. And it's going to be a very, very strong support out there. So I'm looking forward to that coming down. Right now, pre-market, it's down 0.26%. And we have 2 red candles. And we could probably get one more red candle today. And I'm in. I'll be buying a small portion just to top it off and then do dollar cost averaging if it continues going up until we come to this diagonal line of resistance. So that's the plan. And I have SOFI also. It's not doing very well. SOFI is not doing very well. Tempers, I want to look at Tempers because I have some Tempers, and also Hot Dog is looking at Tempers. He's going to dollar cost average at 40. I think that opportunity will be available very soon because this is our bear flag. And we went up and then we started coming down. I'm going to change the color of this to green so that you can distinguish it. And this is where the breakdown happened. And therefore, I'm thinking that we should have a target of 41.17. So if we start dollar cost averaging at around 40, that would be good. So I'm thinking that this is going to come down further. We have earnings on 24th of February, another 11 days to go. So in 11 days, if we come down here, I'm definitely buying Tempus AI. It's at the cusp of health as well as AI, so it's pretty good. Next, let's go on and have a look at genomics. Pfizer, that's my first port of call. Pfizer was disappointing yesterday, but this could be a bull flag formation or a bullish pennant formation. So I'm going to hold on. This morning we are slightly down 0.07% in pre-market trades. I still am looking forward to 28.15. We came very close to it day before yesterday at 27.95, but still there is some juice left. So I'm watching this pattern form. Pfizer is a long-term holding. I'm not selling. Prime is down 0.60%. I have Prime, which is in negative. 3.09 is the support. Intelia is down 0.34% in pre-market trade. The earlier support of 11.83 has now become a resistance, and our next support is going to be at I think it will come somewhere closer to 11.33. Right now we're at 11.58. Caribou Biosciences is flat in pre-market trade, support at 1.50. Beam is flat in pre-market trades. It's going to get resistance at the 50-day exponential of 27.84 and support at 26.34, which is the 100-day exponential. Altimmune is up 1.09% in pre-market trades. Resistance at 4.70, which is the 50-day exponential, the yellow line that you see here. And support is at 4.53. And we have Editas. Editas is up 0.60% in pre-market trade. And we have this resistance out here. I'm going to just pull this out further. I think this is the way the resistance should be. And I think the stock is coming down further, and it could get some support at 1.67, but if it breaks down below that, then we are in for trouble because we have an area up to 1.66, which could provide some support. We are at 1.69. I think after that, it's going to be very difficult. Let's look at Illumina. I think Jesse is going to Jesse has bought Illumina and he's going to do it long term. But I do have some news for Jesse. I hope he watches this and lets me know in a comment section what he thinks. So we have this bear flag, and I'll assume that these are the two candles after which we came down. So we have a target of 90.40. So on our way here, we have this gap fill to be done. So initial support at 106.76 and the next support at 99.31. This is quite possible to happen. Our earnings catalyst is behind us. And if the overall market drops, there is no catalyst for Illumina unless they come up with some kind of a breakthrough technology and it catches the fancy of the analysts and everybody. So I would say that I would be careful. I would like to dollar cost average much closer to the 100 mark. And right now we are at least $14 above that. So that is my thought process. I would like to hear from Jesse in the comment section and get informed. CRISPR Therapeutics in my portfolio is looking really bad. It's down another 1.06% this morning. It's riding along this diagonal line of support. Indeed, I'm now looking forward to the earnings on 12th of February. Of course, this was supposed to be after hours. But as you know, every time these genomic companies, they keep on delaying their earnings. But this time, my expectations were dashed because they reported on time and they came in really bad. They were down 17.81% on earnings and they were down 81.69% on revenue. Okay, revenue, I would say that for most genomic companies, I discount that. But in case of CRISPR Therapeutics, we have Casgevy revenue earnings coming in. So it's not a very blind shot that analysts have put 864K. A part of that would have been estimation for Casgevy. So probably the underperformance in revenue is beyond what was expected for Casgevy. That's why we are so bad. So overall, I'm thinking that, the fact that we are still at just 1.06 means the bad news has already been taken up. And then I think today we should be looking at a little bit of a bounce back once we come to the support, which happens to be around 46.85. So I'm going to be optimistic now that we are going to move up. But there is a little bit of fear I have for CRISPR Therapeutics. And I'm doing this because most people in our channel are here for CRISPR Therapeutics. So I'm going to make sure that I share all my thoughts about CRISPR Therapeutics with you and do proper thinking out here. So if I was to look at this structure out here, right? This is a head and shoulder. Now, for the bad news. Probability is that if we break down from here, right? If we break down from here, we could go all the way to 29.19. So let us all pray that we don't break down below the neckline. But if we do that, then this is going to be really nasty. So with that words, let us go and have a look at Grail. Grail is down 1.28%. Still, it's going to get support at 93.90 today. And it's going to get a resistance from 96.67, which is the 50-day exponential. Right now, we're at 94.66, down 1.28. PSEB is up 0.27% in pre-market trades. Story is same like yesterday. Support is coming from 1.83, which is the 200-day exponential. Resistance at 1.94, which happens to be the 100-day exponential. That's where we are with PSEB. ARCG is down 0.25%. Resistance from the 200-day at 28.04. And support initially will be somewhere in the region of 48. 27.48 is the initial support, and then we are 26.64. Vertex is up 0.65%. It's managed to stay above this resistance. It came up yesterday. We were not confirming the resistance, so the support is still valid. And I think if we come back here, we should be able to bounce back up again. Now, next, let us look at Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 0.68%, but it's going to get resistance at 9.35. Right now, we are at 8.85, having dropped below this support yesterday. Hi, hot dogs. Yeah, Vertex earnings are out, not looking good. They are negative, but we have some really good support out here at 463.78. And I think the overall outlook seems to be positive. The market is still up. I had mentioned something to you about CRISPR. You could check it later on. I spoke about CRISPR. For CRISPR, we have really bad earnings report out here. We have earnings negative surprise of 17.81%, revenue negative surprise of 81.69%. So overall, I think the price action has been pretty decent given the bad news. So I think most of the bad news was already factored from here when we started coming down. So today I'm expecting us to bounce back from 46.72. Now let me go on to Precision. Precision is down 0.84% in pre-market trades. Resistance at 4.93, support at support at 4.35, which is the 50-day exponential. That is this yellow line out here. Eli Lilly, I have some Eli Lilly and it's profitable. It's on the Canadian side. It's up 0.36 in pre-market trades. Very good support. Is going to come in at 100 at the 50-day exponential moving average at 1030.28. So that's the first support. And we have Ultragenics, which is down 3.62%. We are broken down below this flag. Ultragenics is not looking that great right now. I'm going to look at RKT, Rocket, flat in pre-market trades, but it's again killing me. The cup and handle pattern seems like it's going to expire soon. United Health, as I mentioned, it's got a target of 221.11. It has shown a little bit of a resurgence out here, but it has got resistance today at 289.57. Pre-market, it's down 0.08% at 284.15. So let us see how it goes. Team is another company I was talking about, which is likely to go down further. We had a target of 95.50, which we have met and exceeded. But right now, we don't have any new pattern forming out here. We are just keeping on going down. The fact that we have a long wick on the downside and short wick on the upside is a positive for this stock, because I think selling pressure was there, but buyers pushed it back up again. However, overall, the market sentiment and everything is looking negative. Pre-market, we are down 0.42%. And the scare that AI is going to take out software seems to be still working, and our team is suffering. So I hope, Uddhav, you didn't buy team. And if you bought, my condolences to you. With that said, let us go on and have a look at currencies. So in currency, I have got BTC USD out here, which is moving up. So I have put an order for MSTZ. I'm planning to buy MSTZ. Let us look at where MSTZ is at. MSTZ is at 15.68. I have put an order at around 15. And if I get it at 15, I'm happy to hold it for the longer term. And the reason being that Bitcoin is only going to go down further. And again, if you look at this target out here, we had earlier target of 55,670. Now, let me take another target out here. Let us say this was the resultant bearish action. So this is a bear flagpole. I'm going to mark this in purple. Purple is not clearly visible. Let me put that in a very different color. Okay. And now I'm going to take this from here. I'm going to assume that there were 4 candles and we got a bullish pennant and we broke out here from the pennant. So we can go all the way down to 49,175.49, and we will encounter support at 54,947.67. Call it 55,000. And so I'm thinking that we will go at least up to 55,000 or 56,000. So I'm not really worried about this green candle that we see out here. I'm going to be stocking MSTZ, which is a short for MSTR, and that is affordable also. I've priced it at around, let me see. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking up my my order. Just please bear with me for 1 second. I just want to share this with you. The order that I have placed for MSTR. MSTR order My order was filled at 14.70. My order was filled at 14.70. So I'm a little bit on the negative out here, but I'm happy to ride the way down. It's going to go down as soon as the market opens, because I have seen that most of the time when our markets are negative, Bitcoin is also negative. Right now, the futures are pointing to a negative open, and therefore, I think the market is going to open negative. In my TradingView platform, they have done some voodoo. When I renewed my subscription at the same level, I'm not getting QQQ pre-market quotes live. Right now, QQQ in my iPhone shows that it's at plus 0.35 cents, plus 0.97 cents in pre-market. So QQQ indicates a positive open. We'll see when the market opens what happens. I would cut my losses quickly if MSTZ keeps on going down. I'll cut my losses maybe at around $100. Up to then, I'm okay holding on to it. So that's my game plan for today, friends. And I'll share with you another area where I've found myself profitable. As I said in the earlier part of the live stream, I've been moving my US dollars into the Canadian side. And in the Canadian side, I have access to a whole lot of US companies, which is where I'm putting my money into. And I have put money into Walmart, which has given a lot of profits. Yesterday, I booked around $560 of profits there. So I'm waiting for Walmart to go down again. But in all fairness, if I look at technicals out here, so this is a bull flag, and we broke out from the bull flag. And therefore, I mean, even if I take a very conservative approach and say we have a target of 58.66, there is plenty of room. But I'm taking profits when it reaches a particular level. I got $560 profit, which was almost 15% or something based on my purchase price. I said, I'm not going to be greedy. I'll take it. I still have Costco. Costco is going up in my portfolio. I'm still holding on to it. It has got more profits than Walmart. I'm still holding it because I'm looking at a very conservative bull flag out here, and I'm assuming that it has broken out from here. So it has got to go up to 46.67. Right now we are at 44.90. So that will be another area where I would like to book some profits if we get the opportunity. And if you look at the overall drop from its peak from 13th of February to right now, in the pre-market, we still have a 9.14% to go. So there's plenty of room on Costco. Procter & Gamble in my portfolio is negative, but it has been going up steadily. So that's another place where I'm making money. Pfizer again is negative in my portfolio, but Pfizer also is going up steadily. So those are all the other companies. I had some investment in CRM, that is Salesforce. I already took the profits. I took the profits around this area, very modest profits of around $100 or something like that. But I was a bit jittery because I had bought it for a little bit of a bounce that I had expected. And I was not sure it was going to do anything more because there was this drop. So I think I bought it after this huge drop happened out here, and I got a bounce and I sold it off. It was a very short-term holding. So these are all the other things I have. And one more thing I'm looking at is STZ. I'll just share this thing with you. STZ has a reverse head and shoulder pattern and a good target. So STZ is something that I'm stalking. Let us see how it goes. So that's all I wanted to share with you, my friends. And if you have any feedback for me or anything, please let me know. Oh, CPI came in lower, 2.5%, which means there is going to be no rate cut. Oh, there will be rate cuts if there was weakness. We had employment data, which was not good, and CPI has come down. Let me just... Oh, no. CPI. Core inflation, month over month. Forecast was 2, consensus was 3. So we have met the consensus, so it won't move the market. Core inflation rate 2.5, 2.5. We have met the consensus, so it won't move the markets that way. Inflation rate month over month, we are expecting 0.3. We came a little lower than that, but the forecast was 0.1. Inflation rate year over year 2.4, 2.5. This is one place where we are down, but the forecast was for 2.4, so it was priced into the market. So overall, plus and minus, I don't think it's going to move things too much. Let us look at CPI. 325.25, slightly lower. 326.58, slightly higher. So overall, I think it's more or less like a wash. Let us look at the futures and see how the futures are reacting. It's 8:36, so there is enough time for the futures to digest it. And let me go into the 2-minute time frame and see what the future action is looking like. Futures are bouncing back after the CPI. And let us look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is also bouncing back after CPI. So I don't see much to cheer about here. The reason why the Fed would probably cut rate is not a good reason. It's because the economy is dying. We have the tariff things also going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. What if the court rules the tariffs are illegal and the government has to pay back all that money? So that could also create inflation when that money comes back into companies. It could boost the stock market because companies will do stock buyback with that money because they can't trace the consumer and give it to them. So overall, long-term picture is bearish, but short-term, definitely there is a little bit of a boost. But I have seen that many times. For the first 10 minutes, the market reacts differently. And then after that, when the market opens, the market goes in the opposite direction. So let us wait for all the big investors, market movers to digest this report and see what they have decided. I personally feel that already rate cuts have been, the expectation of rate cuts have been put in place, which were dashed down a little bit when we got the initial private employment report. And then this thing kind of washes it off to a certain extent. So I'm still looking forward to a bearish day today. Maybe I'm a perma bear, but I would like to hear from you guys in the chat section. Is the market going to go down today or is it going to go up? I think that once people digest and look at the long-term situation, there is nothing improving. There is no change. And there is no focus even on handling the fiscal situation. People are concerned with all kind of useless things like Epstein. And of course, that should be justice for the victim and all that. But the force of the government is not on what it should be. That is reducing the deficit, improving employment, potentially the employment that's going to come due to AI. And if AI disruption is making software companies weak, expect them to let go of staff. All of that is going to hit the economy, but none of the people in the White House or anywhere who have the megaphone are thinking about it. So I'm bearish. Please let me know what you think. Both Uddhav and Hot Dog, just give me your feedback. Do you think you should be bearish or you should be bullish for today? With that, my friends, I'd like to finish this session here. I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.